Hello, this is Dakota Grady with the Your Money Hour podcast. I am in Greenville, South Carolina, and with a guest here in the Exquisite barbershop. Josh Adams is my guest. But before we get started, I want to let you know about my website at dakotagrady.com for personal finances. If you haven't checked it out, check it out today and find out some free resources that you can use to help you with your personal finances. Also, a book, audiobook, ebook, and then my courses as well. If you need help with your accounting and taxes, check out the ATDoc. That's the ATDOC.com for accounting, tax, and business advisory solutions. So today, my guest is Josh Adams. I know Josh through a friend, Quentin Holland, and he got us connected. Josh and I talked on the phone about an hour the other night, so I wanted to bring him on the show. So without further ado, welcome, Josh.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to get together with my brothers anytime. This is always good.
Yes. So this is my first on-site in the barbershop. So this is a good barbershop talk. So tell me about who you are and what you do, Josh.
Well, Joshua Adams, and from the area for the most part, and been cutting hair for, I don't want to say around 20 years, going to give my age up a little bit, but been in the game for a while, and I've been professionally cutting for a little over 12 years. And kind of like the main aim of this was to build relationships. Is what I learned. Because a lot of people can cut hair. A lot of people have the skill. But do you have the people skill to make yourself relevant? You know, so that's really what barbers, that's what changes us. So like I've done several years, I'll say right around a little under 17 years of mentoring, from mentoring young people to helping people reconnect with their parents, just a lot of different facets of it. And done, of course, I've coached high school basketball for 13 years, and just kind of figuring, I spent a lot of time when I was younger not helping. So got older, it was like barbering was perfect, because it's like bringing back the barber community, you know what I mean? Making us back the center of the community like we used to be. So like I say, been cutting for a while, but I keep learning, keep looking, keep seeking after new things, new equipment, new ways to be better, you know what I mean? Just kind of keeping up with the pace of barbering. But it's me, been married for 17 years, and have 4 kids, 7 grandkids. So it's quite busy around the house, but it's a great thing. It's a great thing just to be doing what I do. I love what I do.
So how'd you get into barbering?
My grandfather cut hair, but we were so far in the country that the family members would come down Saturday mornings to the front porch, and he would line them up one by one, and he would cut their hair. And I used to be fascinated, like, wow, like every morning, every Saturday, I'm like, dang. So I got to the point to where I was looking forward to those Saturday morning moments, not knowing that it would be something that's going to benefit me later on in life. But like I say, my grandfather was a heavy influence, and when I came to Greenville, I actually had a barber's chair in my house. And so when I wasn't working full time, I would still cut certain people, had my little circle of extra income coming in. And my company sold itself. I was a manager of a water company, and so they ended up selling to another company. So they, like I said, you know how it goes. They downsize and give you severance packages and stuff like that. So I was on unemployment, and my brother told me, he's like, dude, why are you not cutting hair? I was like, cutting hair? I said, I can't cut everybody's hair. I said, I cut the people I know, because I know their hair. But he was like, dude, that's crazy. So at the time, my brother gave me my startup money. Him and my grandmother, because she believed in me as well. My grandmother said, whatever you need to do what you feel like you should be doing, just let me know, because I know you're going to follow through. And so she gave me part of it, rest her soul, and my brother, he helped me out. So they were just like basically pushing me into a career. You know what I mean? I was more, I guess, more reluctant to do it because I didn't have self-confidence in my skills versus just anyone that comes in be able to do something. So, like I say, it was a perfect fit because the shop I ended up getting into, I had a lot of family members that came there. Didn't have a clue that this was even the case. But started cutting their hair. Wheels started turning. Started getting better. Started getting better equipment. Started getting better things. And then it just grew into probably 10 years in, became an owner. And so that's where the Exquisite Cuts brand came from. And still have it now. But with this pandemic that's going on, a decision was made to combine. Just honestly, in this industry, we're stronger together. You know, and so when you can not be the face or the front of everything and not worry about your name being seen all the time, and you can honestly come together and plug in and make things work anyhow, you got something good. So that's what we have here. Some people I grew up with, been knowing all my life. You know, the ladies that work here, and the young gentleman, Rod, that was in Exquisite Cuts with me, that came with me. You know, it's a beautiful thing because we're a family unit. So, you know, we just really do what it takes. But we're just trying to get people into the idea of understanding that all barbers aren't hustlers. You know, that the art is not gone. We still love what we do. You know what I mean? You're not a dollar sign sitting over there. You're my brother sitting over there. You're my sister sitting over there. Whatever the case may be, it's just so different now. You know what I mean? It's hard to get people to show any type of emotion into what they do, any type of passion into what they do. Everything has a dollar value. So when you remove the dollar value, do you still do your best on it? If the dollar value is not where you want it, do you still stay up at night thinking about it? Do you still do the things, those kind of intangible things, that do you do those things when you know it may not come monetary? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's kind of how I approach barbering, me personally, and this is really what has helped me, because there are thousands of barbers, dare I say millions, in the country. But the point about it is, what makes you different? You have to have a signature, you know, and my signature is my lineups and the basic detail and the time I take with them, and the fact that they can come in and it's like a psychiatrist's office. You know, they really just let it all out, you know, and it's amazing how much trust people put in you, you know, but it's all in your character though. You know, they tell that way. That's why this took off for me. You know what I'm saying? Because this industry allowed me to put everything together and just use it. You know, so that's where I'm at right now.
So for those who are struggling with self-esteem about their skills or gifts, how did you overcome that? Because Eric talked about how your brother encouraged you to do it, and you were like reluctant. But what gave you that motivation to step into your passion, into your gift?
Well, what really did it for me was success. I succeeded on a cut, my most difficult haircut. And at that time, back then, it was a fade. And it was like, I've got to get this. And so I'm in a sweat. Like, because I'm the new guy in the shop. Because see, now mind you, I came into a shop with like 13 guys.
Wow, it's a big shop.
Yeah, it's a concrete jungle. So we're in there like, your skills are on display. And if you're not displaying anything, you're sitting down. You're waiting. So what I did was, in my waiting time, I watched different people do different things. And the one that I saw do what I felt like I wanted to be doing, that's who I paid attention to. So then I got my opportunity. I said, okay, I'm going to try what I saw. And then once I began to do that, I was like, okay, so that's all right. I added my own flavor on top of what I saw, and here we are. So that's what gave me my confidence, was to dive in and try And when it actually went the way I wanted it to go, that gave me the ultimate confidence of, you know what, it doesn't matter anymore. Let's do this. All I can do is get better from here. You know what I mean? So, but that was the main thing. It was just something going right. Because if I would have bombed out, it would have went a different way. And I probably would be in a plant right now.
Yes.
Somewhere, you know, something for, you know, not against any, you know, plant work, because that's real work, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be in what I love to do.
Correct.
You know, it's just so much. It's so much room for creativity, Marvin. That's my thing.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
So just that small success gave you momentum. Say, I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you know you can do it by putting in the work, you're trying it. Even if you fail, you learn something, right?
Right. Right.
And then you decide, all right, let me try it again. Keep on perfecting it. And actually, the word's not perfecting it. The word is getting great at it. Because nothing can be perfect, right?
Right.
You're just getting great at it. Over
Yeah,
time.
there's no perfect haircut.
Right,
Just,
exactly.
Just some are great.
Right.
And some are average.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So you talked about basically like this being like a psychology or therapy session for your clients, right?
Oh yeah.
How do you build that trust with your clients to get them to share? I mean, like.
Perfect. It's how you talk every day.
Mm.
It's how you walk around every day.
Mm.
Because people watch you without saying a word to you. So what they're doing is they're seeing what they need to see in order to relax. So when they see it and they hear it in your voice, when you're talking to them, and they're like, wow, I never thought of it that way. So the more they hear the things come out of you and come from you that touch home and hit home with them, the more those things happen and the more times that happens, the more they get to the place to where, okay, I'm going to ask him about this. He might know something about that.
Correct.
Or, and see, and then too, another aspect of it, the trust, is I've had guys to call me and say, brother, I don't have any money to get my hair cut till I get paid, but I can't lose my job, man. Can you help me out? Can you help me out? And I tell them, come on in, because without a job, you're not a client.
Correct.
And also, without a job, you're a struggling brother. Now, I can help this thing two ways and not just be a barber, but be that community help I need to be. You see what I'm saying? And because what that does is that builds up. I've had one person out of 12 years not come back and pay. One person, and I haven't seen the person since. But I only had one, and that kind of stuff comes to see if you're serious about what you're saying.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's like it'll show up to say, we're gonna see. Let me see if this one doesn't pay you. Let me see if you do it again. Let me see if you're still as willing to do this thing as you say you are.
Correct.
And so when that happens, those areas right there are just the areas I key in on, because who I am is so important. Because see, at this time in life, faking it is too hard. Number one, it's too hard. It's too hard. I'm sorry, because I'm not gonna keep up with it. Because you're gonna see me and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah. I'm supposed to be this type of cat, but I don't really feel like doing that today. So
right.
This is who I am. You know?
Yes.
So I just kind of kick it to where I'm me all the time. Like it, love it, don't care about it. Fine. I'm still gonna be me. Still can't change. It's too late in the game for all that. So that helps you in barbering, because when a person knows what to expect, they can get more comfortable.
Yes.
So yeah, those are some of the ways that build trust amongst my clients.
That makes sense. I mean, because you are being authentic, being real, and people know again what to expect from you. So talk about the connectivity of coming together with other people, because you're in a salon. It's like, you and your partner of the salon and barbershop. Have you seen people, they may not want to do that combination because they feel like someone may be encroaching on them in terms of taking their clients? Because say if that person is coming into the shop, right, and they're coming to, say you may not own it.
Okay.
But they come in here and then you say, well, I can't work with this person because it's not my shop. They're going to come here, and if I'm doing their hair, they won't see me, they'll see this person own the shop. It's not my shop, so I can't have people come in, so I'm gonna get my own shop to say, all right, I'm not owning when people come to see my show. When people come see me, he come see my shop, not going to somebody else because it's bringing them business, not selling me business. Does that make sense?
It does, and there are some people that think that way, but those are the least successful people in the world. And the reason why I say that is because if your glory is in the name, you have no glory because it can be erased. So your glory has to be the background glory. You have to be foundational in what you're doing. You can't be front. You can't be. It's like fronting. It's like when in the 90s we used to say that, quit front. But that's what it is because if I'm not recognized, that means I'm nothing. Those are lies because I still have the skill. I still have everything that I did to build it. So it's like whether I'm in the front or not doesn't matter. The fact that I'm there.
Yes.
Because your presence should bring you to the front. Regardless. Because that's the thing. You're going to bubble if you have the ingredients to bubble.
Yes.
If you don't have the ingredients to bubble, you're not. It doesn't matter who pulls you to the front, how many times they talk about you, none of that. If you don't have it in you to maintain that position, you won't have it long. You know what I'm saying? So it's those kind of people I don't connect with. And I make it my business not to. Because I'm not gonna acknowledge them. I'm not gonna blow smoke and make them feel good. That's just not me.
Yes.
I already know I'm not gonna do it. So there's no need in me putting myself with that type of person and having to. Here we go again.
Right.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job. Yeah, that's great, man. That's really, but you are really that dude.
Right.
I just don't have that. I have this thing. I have it's like an energy chart, if you would. And I give my energy to certain areas, and certain areas can't have it. So those kind of people fall into the area who can't have it. So if you're labeled in my life as a person who cannot get any energy from me, guess what? That's exactly where you are until you change it. I won't change it for you.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because a lot of times we put people where we want them to be, not where they've earned to be. You have to earn your place in my life. You have to earn it because if you're not adding to my life, you're taking away from it. So I keep my circle small.
Yes.
Keep it small. Because it's like it doesn't take a large group. I even go back like if you biblically, I don't know how many people read, but even then he said, you know what? He was talking to the Jewish legalists, and they were walking around the town speaking all big words and all loud, and had the people kind of scared because the people didn't know the same things they knew. So they put themselves like you were talking about. That's that face, that front. That's that, oh, see me, hear me.
Correct.
But guess what happened? When it came time to receive reward, they were like, hey, where's ours? You already got yours from the people. That was your reward because that was your motive. So it's like barbering, I take that the same way. If my motive is to grind and just get money, that's what my reward is. If I don't have any people, I don't have any reward. But if my motive is to make my people better, make my people stronger, make my people, if my position is to make you think every time you see me, guess what I'm doing? I'm building something, I'm churning something, I'm building a motor within you, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys do not get anyone in their ear to say, hey man, I just need you to think. I don't need you to follow this, I don't need you to do that, I need you to be able to think so that you can survive. Because a lot of times we make decisions without thinking, impulsive. We do things because we feel like that's what's popping right now, or that's what's good. It's like, yeah, I think the new word is drip or whatever, so you don't get my drip right. No. Because if you dripping, but your bills are not, you're stupid. There's no way to fix it up because we're too old to be doing the same stuff.
Mm.
You know, I have a lot of people that I grew up with that don't look like me,
Mm.
don't sound like me. They still look and sound like the 90s.
Mm.
My thing is this: when you felt the disconnection happening, and you heard the same thing I heard, why did you harden your heart and not change? It was time. We had our fun. It was time, though. The immaturity had ran out. So anything after that point was going to be damaging to us if we don't change.
Mm.
And so that's what I'm seeing in them, is that there's the damage because you did not change.
Right.
You have a period of time.
Yes.
You got a grace period. Enjoy yourself. But after that grace period, it's like, so that's in barbering. When I first started out, I had a grace period. I had to learn the industry. I had to get in here and learn as much as I could. Pound the ground, pound the ground, pound the ground. And once I did that, I was like, okay, so now this is going to be my area. That's not going to be my area. This is going to be my way in. Because anything that you want to do, if you do not research it, you will not be successful. So that's one thing, even barbering, you have to do. You got to figure out what kind of barber you're going to be. Because I don't do all the color, the enhancements, and all that kind of stuff. Nah, I'm really a raw cutter. I'll make you look good with what you got. Because that's what you're going to have when you sleep.
Right.
You get up, roll out of bed, you know, it's like, you looking for product, you're in a bad spot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that's one of the reasons why I just chose not to be that guy that paints your hair and does all this kind of stuff. It's like, nah, this is an art. And cut has been an art for so long, especially in my family. It's been in my family that I've noticed for over 40 years. And so with it being that, it's like, man, don't take away from that. I know, you know, there's a lot of stuff happens in society right now, but you don't mean you got to be in on everything.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So that makes you that much more different, because that sets you apart that much more when you still have those original skills. They like, oh, I can go down here and get a fresh line and get chopped up real nice. Never mind.
Exactly.
It's just like, yeah, let me slide over out of my bed.
Yes.
So, you know, and I have people who I've cut for a long time. And, I mean, years like 10, 11. Some have been with me since the beginning, 12 years in, going on 13 years. And so but the consistency is me asking about your kids. How's your wife? How's your family? How's it moving? Everything good? When you see people coming in and you know, because if you pay attention to your clients, you know when a person's struggling. Because I've done this before. I've seen the struggle. And, you know, Father, keep your antennas up. You know he does. Especially when you know you're going to use it right. And so a brother can get ready to be paying me. And when he reaches in his pocket, pulls the money out, I do that right there. Shake his hand, but I'm like, you know what? We're bigger than that. Keep that because you need that. Don't know what you're dealing with. Not my business to even know. But it is my business to make your load a little bit lighter today. So we good. I'll see you next time around. I got a call today. Same thing. He was like, he said, brother, I'm in a bad spot. I look bad. I didn't get the job. I'm at the house. Is there any way you can cut my hair? So go on my app and book you an appointment like you would normally do. And I see you when you get here. And it's almost like the brother broke down for a second but caught himself because the pride kick in. You know how men do. He'd be like, all right, yeah, hey man, appreciate that, man. Go looking out.
Good.
You know? So but it was so real because we don't have those moments in our community. This is one thing. I know it's a little bit off base, but at the same time it's not, because we do have to deal with each other in circles. And what I mean by that is we, as black people, black men especially, black men has the highest level of mental health problems in the country. But we were taught in reverse. We were taught that mental health was a weakness. So we don't acknowledge it in our communities. But in all actuality, we've been through slavery, all this civil rights mess. I'm talking about still not equal, not gonna be equal. People fishing for us to vote and all this kind of stuff to balance out the numbers. They got us all over the place. They want us in every little game they're playing, different things of that nature. We've been stretched so thin in this bondage that we're in. We've been stretched so thin that our minds, that's why people snap and you look at the news like, I can't believe they did that. Believe it. Because everyone has a point to where they can no longer take it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't address the mental health.
So this is a conversation for another segment.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. This is good stuff. No, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
So,
but I just put
Yeah, I
everything
got
in the bar, bro.
so basically, like, before we close, that's the good topic. Before we close, what can you give the audience? So just a tip, business, life, whatever.
Honestly, whatever you do, take your heart out of it and make sure it makes sense. Because a lot of times we run with emotion and we end up empty. We hit brick walls because we did not plan things out.
Mm.
Today is not a plan. Tomorrow is not a plan. Next month, 6 months, the end of the year, yeah, that's a plan. But when you're doing like minimize time, minimize things, that's impulsive because I know I can do those things. That's because my situation today is telling me I'm able to do that. It's just like having a lot of money today. My impulses is telling me I can go blow some money because I got room. But end of the month is telling me those bills are going to come back around. The things I may have a car may go down, or or a family member may be in need, or I may have someone in need that's around me. We don't prepare for the variables. So I would tell people to prepare for the variables in life is one of the main things. Whether you're like myself, an entrepreneur, whether you're doing that or not, and prepare yourself for the things that you cannot see coming. Also, I would say, anytime you want to get something across, show a person, don't tell a person.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Because and the only reason why I have that statement is because my kids, I told them, grow up, learn what you like, master it, let's get you a business doing it. But if I didn't show them how to be a business owner, my words meant nothing.
Exactly.
In their ears and their eyes. So when they see it work, they realize they're eating off this plate at the house from what he said. They're like, okay, so it works.
Yes.
So now I'm all ears, Pops. What you got? So it's just like I say, that's just my thing is plan your life. Don't stop living off impulse. And stop living off today. Just because you see someone else do that doesn't mean you're going to make it through.
Awesome. So how can people find out about you on social media or online?
You can follow me under Exquisite Cuts on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well, under Exquisite Cuts. And it's like we're about to do some live things and more of this nature, the podcast nature. We're about to link up my brother over here that cuts. So we're still going to keep the